Welcome to the Alive Loren Podcast, and the place of celebrating, leaning into juicy, soulful, whole living, adventuring in this journey of a lifetime. Sure. So, I said about some takeaways from the movie Nyad and finding the joy in the now. So, I'm going to start with finding the joy in the now. Because a principle that I love from Mickey Singer is, focusing more on the ability to experience than the experience itself, and really just trusting that everything that has happened in life, not even trusting, it just really is, that every moment is a result of every other moment that has happened before it. And it was beautiful. I think the wording, one of the recent talks of his I was listening to was saying about that we actually inherit the present, and that it's about experiencing it. Wow. And there was also in chapter 17, I think I mentioned it recently, of Untethered Soul, where you're contemplating death, where your career is life and your relationship with life, your most important relationship. So, I've just noticed recently how much resistance I have, and resistance is exhausting. To the now and to the work that I have in my space at the moment, and I'm grateful to have work, but finding it challenging more recently to tune into how do I say this? To tune into the ability to experience the work and the fascination of being really present in the moment to what I'm doing, the ability to sit and use a computer, and every activity I do, to do it with pride and attentiveness, and to serve every moment, trusting that I'm exactly where I need to be, because if I was meant to be somewhere else, I would be. And just as gracefully and effortlessly as certain other things, when I've needed assistance or things have just sort of flowed and happened and fallen. Not even when I need assistance, just when I witness certain things. Things are constantly, there's a grace and an ease. And it's when I resist what is that I think that there isn't. But there always is. So I was grateful for the last 2 days of being able to kind of slip into that slipstream a little bit better. Wow. Yeah, that was a biggie for me. Biggie, huge. Ooh. And with the movie Nyad, so it's a Netflix original with Annette Bening and Jodie Foster, so it is a bit of a spoiler alert, based on a true story of this lady who in her 60s swims from Cuba to Florida. My God, she swam over 50 hours. It's more than 2 days. And she actually only completes it on her 5th attempt. And she's in her 60s when she does. Now, I watched this movie more for Jodie Foster and Annette Bening. So it's actually good also to go into something with lower expectations, because then, there's room. And gosh, the character is quite, when she talks about herself and her accomplishments, and just a few things that I really took away, because everything is very much focused on her. And the biggest thing that kind of, like I say, spoiler alert, unless this kind of stuff doesn't impact your enjoyment of a movie, the biggest thing that I took away was throughout it, and especially at the end when she does these 3 attempts in her 60s before the 4th one, when she makes it, which is her 5th one in total, because she tried it when she was younger, was she's very sort of hell-bent on a focus on herself. It's her mission, her destiny. without really acknowledging the people who are assisting in making it possible. And it reaches a point where everyone in her team just is so exhausted that they just say, enough, it's enough, I'm not doing this anymore. And it's actually in her letting go of pushing her agenda and everyone being there in line of her agenda and her mission. And she just connects to people from a more authentic place with sort of beautiful reflection and shared conversations that are no longer all in line to get these people to come and do what I want them to do, but more just in accepting where they are, but then genuinely sort of reminiscing so people have their own time and space to come to what had attracted them to even be there on her team in the first place. So that in her final mission she lands up with a softness, where instead of it always being her will and her way and her, there's a recognition of the value of the team, a recognition of the value of the people in her life, and also how then they value her in their lives. And it was just really beautiful because of the things when she finally makes it and she's speaking on the other side. It was just really beautiful to hear that. It's a beautiful, beautiful line, because she does this open water swimming, which has certain rules of, you're unaided, you're just in the water, you don't have anyone, no one can touch you from the time you start to the time you finish. When she says that it very much looks like a solitary sport, that it very much is a team effort. And it was so beautiful to see that full circle and that shift and that softness that came to realizing, to giving people the time and space. Wow, so on this glorious note, may we more easily tune into the joy in the now, and gratitude and appreciation for the ability to experience versus the experience itself, and really allowing for the life that is before us without this massive resistance and judgment and wanting it to be any otherwise, and just really trusting and being there as best we can to do what's in front of us and get that sense of fulfillment and nourishment from being present to doing greatness regardless. It doesn't matter what it is. It's like our energy that we bring to it that matters so much more. That everything is beautiful and worthwhile. And also in terms of giving people the space to reflect and come to your own willingness to participate or not. And the gratitude and humility for those around us who make things possible. So happy adventuring, precious heart. Mwah.